Okay, I think we are up and running. We're going to go on Instagram as well. Let's see that we can do everything right this time with Instagram and YouTube. All right, bam. We are live on both. So we are trying to get on 2 platforms today. Let's see how both platforms work. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, beautiful people? Hello, 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 hello on YouTube Live. Hello, Instagram Live. Hello, hello, hello. So thank you so much for coming back, because this is definitely a live you are going to want to share. This is definitely more of a training live than a different type of live. So I'm going to send it out to some people who've asked me about this. What's up, Steph Lover? So I am asking that you can do the same thing. If somebody on your team has been asking you, how is it that I do a tea party? How is it that they work their business a certain way? I am going to be right here to share with you how you do it. Okay. Oh, that's sweet of you. That's sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Thanks, Jazz. Thank you. Thank you. What's up, Step Lovers? So listen, this is going to be a training, which is going to be live on my YouTube channel and live here on our Instagram page for 24 hours. I started to do more live and videos on YouTube, so that way it would always be there, because people ask me, well, can you repeat that? Or is there any way you can save that information? So I have a YouTube channel. I'm building it. There's not too much on there right now. I just wanted one more note on that. Please make sure you just go over to Sheila Monique. Everything is Sheila Monique. It's my YouTube, my Instagram, my Facebook. Everything is Sheila Monique. So again, if you have teammates that you know need to understand how to do a CBD experience, if you have teammates that want to know more about how to grow their business, this is definitely a live for them to tune in on. So I'm going to get right into it, because I get a lot of questions on how to do a proper TLC CBD experience, right? So one of the biggest things that I want to tell you is you are the experience. You're the energy that you set the room and you set the tone for. What do I mean by that? When people come into your CBD experience, how do you want to make them feel? Do you want to make them feel like they're welcome? Do you want to make them feel like it's a big party? Do you want to make them feel like, no, this is the opportunity and space for you to make money? That is what you're going to start off with, is the energy you set for the room, okay? So when you set the room, the energy for the room, you want to be high energy. You don't want to be too crazy high where people are like, what's the matter with you? But you want to have that good energy, because a lot of people who are doing a lot of things in life may not have a lot of people around them that have good energy. So you, for one, want to set the tone where it's different right then and there as far as your energy levels when you're working with different people, right? The next thing it is that I want to tell you about is what you have inside of the CBD experience. Very, very important. The thing that you want to do is, we talked about, you set the tone, but who is your greeter? The first person that your guest and your new teammates see when they come through that door. That person, which is your greeter, is also your registration, needs to have great energy just like you have, okay? We usually do a table cover or a tablecloth. The team colors, the CBD experience colors are green, purple, and white. Then sometimes green, purple, blue, green, purple, just not too much black. Just really look at the TLC colors. You can even do orange in there for the NutriBurst bottle, but you want to set the tone around those colors for the event. You don't want a whole bunch of different colors all over the place, because it's going to throw things off. So if you I like to stick with purple and green. They just kind of go for me in my event. So that's what we do. Sometimes we add in some blue in there. And depending on the event, we may add in some yellow. I'm trying to get this lighting together for everybody. Sorry, we work now. I look orange. Okay, anyway. So those are just a couple different things as far as when you're starting it off, right? Then when they first come to your registration table, you want to have your table covered with whatever table cover cloth you have, again, staying in the same color round. You want to make sure that you have a sign-in sheet for any of your guests and a sign-in sheet for any of your IBOs that come to your event. 9 out of 10 events that you come to, an IBO is paying $10 and the guests are absolutely free. If it's different, they should note that and let you know the information depending on the CBD experience you're going to. A lot of times they're just in someone's house and they don't do all of that. But if it's a space that they have to rent and, they're sampling their products, and absolutely, as a representative, you pay $10 to get in the door because you didn't put any money anywhere else. Okay. So you want to have a registration table. At your registration table, of course, have the sign-in sheet for your guests. Another thing that you want to have lined up on your table are 8 ounces of water. 8 ounces of water and 1 of our CBD tea. So let's just say, for instance, your guests were going to get, hold on. Nope, that's the other one. So if your guests were coming to your event, you want every guest to have an 8-ounce bottle of water and a sachet of tea, whether it's your original instant tea, whether it's your CBD tea. If you're having a CBD experience, ladies and gentlemen, please have a CBD bag of CBD tea for your guests, okay? So every guest that comes into your CBD experience, great evening, Regina, you want them to take an 8-ounce bottle of water and a sachet of tea. Again, that is just for guests. That's not for IBOs that are in the business with you. These are just for your guests, okay? Another thing that you will have on the side, not necessarily when they first walk in the door, or is samples of our NutriBurst, okay? You want to make sure you have samples of the NutriBurst, because the thing is, people want to try the products, okay? A lot of times they come to the event so that they can try the product to see if they actually like the product, right? So then one thing that you want to do with it is you want to also have sample cups, okay? I happen to have just a glass right here. But you want to have sample cups to sample your NutriBurst in for your clients, right? Sample cups are very, very important because you're sampling your NRG. When we do CBD experiences, we're not looking at it like, oh my God, I have to give this person a sample. No, you get an opportunity to sample someone that's coming to learn more about your products as far as your event. So again, that's what we have on our registration table. Registration table is a sign-in sheet. However it is that you do your sign-in, whether they did Eventbrite, you have a computer, whether you have a sheet, whatever it is, just make it very simple for your guests to go from the registration table to taking their bottle of water and CBD tea. If you're doing an event with me, then I say, we hold their CBD teas for them and let them know there's going to be a time in the presentation where we're going to show you exactly what to do, but take this for now. Because what happens is I like to do it from the front of the room to show people how simple it really is. I'll be like, okay, everybody got a bottle of water when they came in, right? And they're like, yeah, okay. And everybody get their sachet. Of course, you're going to have 1 or 2 people that already tried it. But the main thing is you want to try togetherness, okay? So then I'll open my sachet and I'll say, look how easy this is. We rip it and then everybody rips it. Sip a little water out of your bottle, pour it in, put the top back on, shake it, and drink it. And tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when you taste it, and you let them shout it out. It's giving people more of an experience instead of them just having the tea and just doing it on their own. I make it more of an experience. I make it more of interaction. I make it more fun for them. So that's just one of my tidbits that I do when I'm doing the presentation, when I'm doing a CBD experience, okay? And then, so other things that you're going to need there, you're going to make sure you have applications, ladies and gentlemen. Printed paper applications is very important. Please do not have just digital, oh, I got my phone, oh, I don't, we don't need applications. No, if you're having a CBD experience, you want to have paper applications to give to someone when they're ready to sign up. The worst thing is that I've been to events where people are working on their tablet, and now you got 3 or 4 people waiting for this one person to finish, and then the application isn't going through because they put the address wrong. So now your guests are aggravated. Listen, time kills deals. So you want to be able to hand everybody a paper application, let them fill it out, and give it back to you before they leave. Please make sure you have that. Also, make sure you, like we talked about, make sure you have balloons. Make sure you have a whiteboard or a board for someone to write on when they're in front of the room, okay? When they're explaining the 5 different ways that we get paid. See, some people learn from, hearing, but other people learn from sight. So when they're writing it down, it's not just because they want to write it. They're writing it because someone else may be learning through the way that they're writing it, and they may not have caught how they said it, okay? Another thing that you want to make sure you have is dry erase markers and an eraser. Dry erase markers and an eraser. If you don't have an eraser, at least have some wet paper towels, not soaked, but some damp paper towels up at the front, so when whoever's writing, they can erase it quick. You don't want to have a whole bunch of things going around and moving when your guests are really just supposed to be paying attention to what the presenter is presenting. Another thing that you want to make sure you have is some pens, just in case, for any of your clients to fill out their applications, okay? You also want to make sure you have a speaker. 9 times out of 10, it's a Bluetooth speaker. If you go to your resource tab in your back office, you can just look for form or application, and they can print them off for you. If you cannot find them there, then make sure you ask your sponsor where applications are. Okay. Hey, Bev. So again, yes, you want to make sure you have applications. You want to make sure you have some pens just in case somebody doesn't have a pen. Okay. as the leader in the room, you want to make sure you have, almost fell. You want to make sure you have your notebook and your pen ready so that when the presenter is presenting, this is you right in front of the room. Oh man, that's awesome. Because what happens is when people start to see you paying attention, they feel as though they're supposed to pay attention. But if you're not paying attention and you're on your cell phone during the presentation, then they feel like they don't have to pay attention either. See, another thing, you're very welcome. Another thing that you have to understand is however you do your events is how your team is going to feel like they have to do an event. Why? Because you're the example of an event. They may have never seen one before, so you're the example, okay? This is why you don't want to go out and get a whole bunch of food and have liquor and all that other stuff at your CBD experience, because it'll take your event from learning all about the tea and the business opportunity to now we're talking about the food, and now we're drinking, and now we're not being quiet during the presentation. So you don't need to have all of that. It's nothing wrong. I've seen some tea parties where they had like a couple pieces of fruit. I mean, that's cool, but we're not there for that long for them to be able to need to be that hungry. Okay, so again, food is not a requirement for your CBD experience when you're doing them, whether it's at your house, whether you're doing it at a clubhouse, whether you're doing a main event. Next thing you want to have is some type of speaker. I started to talk on that, okay? Whether it's a Bluetooth speaker or something that music can go to where you don't have to have a whole DJ, okay? So if you have music, you want to be able to play music in the background. You do not want to play hardcore, lot of cursing music, okay? That's not the tone you want to set, because what happens is people's mindsets get shifted. You don't know who's offended by the F word or the B word or the whatever different words that are out there. So you don't want to play anything that's going to offend anybody. So have some type of, you can have your R&B music or your rap music, just, have the clean version of it if you're going to play it loud. If you're going to play it, do not play your music so loud that people cannot hear each other, okay? Your presentation is not going to be that long. So when they're there, you're just playing something in the background before the speaker gets started. Then you're playing something at the end once people start handing out the applications so they know that they can have this information. Please save this live. Beverly, I got you. And if for some reason it doesn't save, I'm on my YouTube channel live here, so it'll also save on my YouTube channel. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to make sure that you have throughout the presentation is where the presenter is presenting is very important. Why? Because that's where everyone's focus is. So what does that mean? That means the area that the presenter is presenting in, please make sure that the area is cleaned out. You don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff where the presenter is presenting, because instead of people paying attention to what the presenter is saying, they're paying attention to everything in the background. Okay, so you do not want to have that. Usually if we have an event space, we have a high boy table, which is one round table. We usually have one candle on the table. We have some nice fresh flowers, whatever flowers make your heart happy. And we have the products that the presenter is going to use. Meaning, if there's NutriBurst, see how I can just reach and grab the NutriBurst and talk about the NutriBurst. You don't want to see somebody go, oh, hold on, and then doing all of that, looking for something, because then it throws off. It makes it seem like you're not together. So you want to make sure you have all the products that your presenter is going to talk about in reachable space, okay? You also want to have, besides the CBD samples to sample to every guest and NutriBurst to sample to every guest, you want to have at least an Alleviate for people to try. If you want to. If Alleviate is one of your top products, like it's one of my top products, every event I go to, and then I usually ask, does anybody in the room have a headache? Does anybody in the room have any type of pain, joint pain going on right now? And whoever says yes, oh yeah, I do. Okay, great. Let you try this Alleviate. I will tell them a little goes a long way. If you have a headache, rub a little bit on each one of your temples and across your forehead. If you have any pain, if it's in the area where you can put it on right now, then put it on that area. And then within a couple of minutes, I'll go back to them and say, hey, how's that headache? Hey, how's that pain? And then I'll let the product sell itself. See, we believe in our product so much that we know and understand that it's going to be instant gratification. So if you use this Alleviate, the pain is going to be gone away in a couple minutes. So when I ask you about it, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I didn't even realize that my shoulder pain was going away. I didn't even realize this or didn't even realize that. The thing about it is, and what it does is it helps sell the other people around you that they're like, oh my God, maybe I should try that. What's that stuff? Alleviate. Now they're thinking of to purchase that product in the back of their head while they're going through your presentation. How can I get the applications? Tony, you get the applications through your resource tab in your back office. And if for some reason you don't find them there, just ask your sponsor where the applications are. Okay, so you want to have alleviate. You want to also, even though everybody's not crazy about it, but you want to still have a packet of brewed tea. This is what the company started with, so you want to be able to share. When you're sharing the story of when the company started, you want to definitely have a bottle of NutriBurst, because this is what Jack Fallon started with in 1999, and you want to have a pack of the original detox tea, because this is the tea, that changed the game when it came to detox tea. Okay, so those are just a couple things you want to have. Some people give everyone out an NRG sample. That's totally up to you. If you want to give out NRG, another product you want to have on your product table when your presenter is presenting, you want to have a bottle of resolution drops, because you never know if somebody in the room may need that. And that's about it as far as your products on your product table. And as far as your bottles of water that you're going to be giving to your clients, these things are important, because when you're there, you never know what a person is coming to your event for. They could be coming because they want to learn more about the money. They could be coming because they've heard about those resolution drops, or they heard about those harmony drops, or they're trying to figure out what the whole CBD experience is, or what's that raspberry tea. Like, you don't know why they're there, so why not cover all parts? Okay. Another thing that I want to tell everybody when they're doing the CBD experience is, remember that you're all there and you're all business owners, and you need to be professional. So what I mean by that is, don't interrupt the speaker while they're speaking. Don't, do things that are just unnecessary. Like, be extremely loud for no reason because you're excited. Like, you need to try and figure out how to compose that. Maybe take some harmony drops before you do it. I'm doing my first event here in Detroit Sunday. GMG. Bam. Well, send us the flyer so we can tell everybody about that, Tanya. So here's another thing, right? When you're at the event, I told you, make sure you have your notebook in hand. Make sure you are focused, you know what I mean, on what's going on. Make sure you have other people to help assist you through the event. Unless it's just at your home, then you may be able to, kind of pay attention to what people may need. But if you have a team of you, make sure one person is, always watching the door. Somebody else, is making sure that the guests are okay. It's okay to be nervous, girl. It's perfectly fine to be nervous. Everybody's nervous their first couple of events. Another thing that you want to do is, yes. Okay. So another thing that you're going to want to do, where is she coming in or out? Go lay down. Another thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you take a deep breath, ladies and gentlemen. The beauty of doing a CBD experience is they don't know what you're supposed to say. So it's okay if you stumble over something one or two times. Just make sure you catch yourself, and it's a lesson learned and a change that you can make, okay? So again, that's what I was talking about. Make sure that you have other people that are there to help you, okay? Once the presenter goes up, usually it's in two forms. So it's usually somebody that'll go up and talk about the products. They'll talk about, they'll explain the products, they'll explain the NutriBurst, they'll explain the teas, they'll explain, the NRG. They'll explain their story, why they started with TLC. They may even, depending on you or them, will talk about the story of TLC. And I tell people all the time, at all times, there's three stories that you must know. You must know the story of the company that you work with. You must know the story of your upline, and you must know your own story. Those are three stories that you have to know, because you're telling people on a constant basis, okay? So another thing that you're going to want to make sure that you do is you want to have enough product. Ladies and gentlemen, if you invite 20, 30 people to an event, and let's say numbers being the numbers, 10 to 12 people show up, depending on your credibility, right? 10 to 12 people show up, and let's say everybody want to buy a bag of tea, but you didn't buy enough tea. So now you can do it on a week supply with people, but you're losing out on additional money. That's why it's also good to have the applications there, because if somebody just wants to buy some product, they can write on an application that I just want to buy this product. They can either buy it from you right then and there, or you can say, okay, no problem, I'll put your order in tomorrow, and then your tracking number will come to you. So now when you get home, you're putting in applications from people joining your business, and you're putting in applications for products. But a lot of times what we love to do is to be able to let people walk away with something. So if they join your team, you may want to give them 2 or 3 sachets of tea and an NRG, something that you may want to do. I've seen people give out t-shirts when they join their team. Like, it's all about what you want to do, because remember, it's your business, ladies and gentlemen. So however you want to start your business is how you will have to continue it, okay? Again, whatever your team sees you do is what they'll feel like they have to do. So don't make it so extravagant where you have, like, I don't know, balloon animals put up in one spot, and you have like these certain type of Swarovski crystals. That'll be too much. Nobody's going to follow that, and they're going to think they have to do that. And if they don't have a certain amount of money, or they don't have a certain amount of mindset, then they're going to think that that's what it's going to take for them to be able to win. Okay. Another thing is, once the presenter is finished presenting, ladies and gentlemen, when you're talking to your guest, you do not want to go up to your guest and say, so was it interesting? So tell me what you like. Anything you want to say? You don't want to do that. What's your YouTube channel? Sheila Monique. Everything is under Sheila Monique. So you don't want to say that to them. What you want to say to your guests that have come to your event is, so tell me what you like most about it. Was it the products, or was it the way to make additional income? Tell me what you like most about it. Did you like most to hear about Natalie Nicole, how she was able to pay off her student loans and now she's making over $35,000 a week in TLC? Did you like the fact that Tiana went on stage and talked about how she lost 17 pounds in a week and a half? Like, tell me, like, girl, can't you see us taking over? You have to go back to them with excitement. You're welcome. Because if you don't, and you just come back to them dry eyes, they're going to be like, well, maybe you didn't sit through what I just sat through. And if you ask like the whole opening question of, tell me what you like most, baby, no, listen, no, you want to direct them where you want them to go. See, people need to understand if they say yes with you, their life in one or two areas is going to change. So if you believe that with everything in you, then it's okay for you to ask that person, so tell me what you like most about it. Was the fact that you can really get your health started in 2020, or is the fact that you could really make an additional $500 a week? Which one? Because they both direct into you to the way that I need you to go. And I need you to go this way because you may not see it yet, but you need you to go this way. Okay. Any questions on this so far? I just want to make sure I'm kind of covering everything. I talked about the balloons. I talked about the DJ. And here's a big thing. Okay, so the person that is bringing the speaker on, meaning the person that is coming up and they may be the MC for the night, and they're talking to everybody about the event, and then they're bringing up the first person, which is the first guest that's speaking, or the first person goes up. Here's the biggest thing that you must understand. You must give credit where credit is due. You must edify the person you're about to bring on the stage. Why is edification so important? Because if I'm bringing up Coach Tammy Price to the team, to the stage, and I'm just finished talking about the products, and I'm saying, I'm going to move myself out the way and let my Coach Tammy talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, about the income, about the increase and what's going on with our team as a whole. I'm not going to say, oh, well, here's Tammy and Tammy Price, and Tammy with the T is what they call her, and then just give her the mic. Why should somebody sitting in the stage sitting in the audience listen to you or listen to that person? No, you have to always break it down. So you want to be able to say, if I'm bringing up my coach Tammy, I'm gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to give all your attention to the woman that helped change my life. One single DM totally changed the game for me. I met this woman before, and she told me she was living in her car. I met her children. Now she's not living in her car. She's in a beautiful Mercedes. She's downtown Dallas. She's enjoying life, traveling the world, making over $10,000 a week. And she is on such a mission, and she is in such high demand to be able to help people all over the world, that I am so grateful and thankful that she was able to come here to Atlanta, Georgia for us, ladies and gentlemen. See, she could be out in Texas dealing with other people and other teams, but she decided to engage in a vision that was bigger than herself, so that nothing or no one can get in the way. So if you could please do me a huge favor and show some love to my coach, my friend, Tammy Price, and then I will bring her up. Now you feel like, oh, I should pay attention to that person. That person's a little important. Wait, she said a DM changed her life. Wait a minute. She said she was making $10,000 a week. She said she was sleeping in her car. Now she's driving a Mercedes. Wait, she said that she's now able to come out here to Georgia versus being in Dallas, Texas. Also, she has some heart. You don't know what someone's looking for, but if I don't say it and I don't give no type of edification to her, they're not going to pay her no attention. And here's the beauty of edification. Now, when I give my coach Tammy edification, when she comes on the stage, now what she going to do? She going to give it right back to me. Man, y'all make some noise for Sheila Monique. I'm so proud of Sheila Monique. She done lost over 77 pounds. And she's making $10,000 a month here in TLC. She's very consistent. I know she's on a mission right now to help so many people all over the world. She's traveling state to state, city to city. She could give the credibility back to me. So now the people that are sitting in the audience are like, oh, if they didn't know that about you. And for the people who thought small of you, now you got somebody from the front of the room edifying your name. It bigs you up. I'm telling you, this edification works all around the board. So this is something that you want to do every single time you get the opportunity to do it. So now you go from, talking on the stage and you presented your products and you're talking about your products to the people. Now you edify your coach or your sponsor, whoever it is that you're edifying at that moment that's coming on stage. Then they go ahead and they do their thing. You sit in the front row, right? Because you have a seat for you. I don't care if it's the front of the couch and you right here. And if she make a joke, don't be all, don't do all of that because people are going to know that you fibbing, okay? But if it's a joke that's supposed to be meant, it's supposed to be meant to laugh at because it's probably not the first time you heard your coach say that same joke, then laugh a little. If it's something that you feel like you want to clap, then clap. It's okay because other people want to do it, but they're just nervous to do it because they don't know what they're supposed to do or not because they ain't never been to a presentation before. But you got to be the one that's front and center taking notes and paying attention. If you got your phone, if you got your iPhone, your phone in your hand and you're recording, you want to be on it. You want to make sure that you're paying attention because when your team sees you paying attention, they're going to pay more attention, ladies and gentlemen. See, it's more than just, the guest paying attention to the presenter, because at one time and more than one time during the presentation, their eyes are going to go off the guest and they're going to fall somewhere, and who knows if they fall on you. You don't want to be sitting in the corner like this on your phone. Because then they're like, well, this person that invited me isn't paying attention, which means you don't take your business seriously. So why should I involve myself into something you don't even take serious? Just saying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just saying. Another thing, after you finish your presentation and your guest goes out, your speaker is, in the front of the room and they got applications in their hand where they're about to pass them out. Always see if they needed anything, for their applications. Depending on your speaker, they may ask you, if I'm your speaker, definitely have 2 sachets of CBD tea and some type of small bottle of alkaline water up there so I can do the whole experience with everybody and share and show them how simple and easy it is to be able to do what we do. And I like to take the NutriBurst with them. I see how simple and easy it is to take the products, just to let people know. So then your presenter will do the thing that your presenter does, which is closing. And then after that, that's when you're gathering the applications. That's when you're working with people. If you have someone on your team that can help, it's really good to take some pictures and footage of the whole event from the space. If you don't have a lot of people, then, focus on your presenter and not focus on the entire crowd. But if you do have a nice sized crowd, take some pictures and some videos of that. Let other people see that you're actually working and you're doing what you say that you're doing. Let people take pictures of you getting people's information, and take pictures with your new teammates. Try to take a big picture at the end of the event to say, it's time for CBD wherever you are. And then if you're with your team, depending on when it is, that's the time for you to take out your speaker. Take your speaker out to eat. Hey, thank you so much for being able, to come out. We just wanted to, go out to grab something to eat. And that's when you really sit there and you dig with your team, with your sponsor. So the people who are director or above, or the people who did something special. See, that's another way for you to build up momentum in your team, because you could talk with your team and say, okay, look, I got Coach Tammy coming out here. Now, she could be anywhere else in the world, but you got to be, at least, depending on the level of your team, you got to at least be director. You got to at least be binary qualified. You got to at least be such and such. So that way you can win a chance to go to dinner with Coach Tammy. But if you're not edifying your coach, they like, well, what the crap do I need to go out with a Coach Tammy for? See what I'm saying? So you need to break that down and make sure you're consistently edifying your coach. Even after the event is over, you go out to eat, with your coach. And that's the time for you to say, okay, well, your coach to ask you, how was it? Or you to let your coach know what's going on. Have a meeting after the meeting, but maybe grab something to eat if you guys were out all day. And if not, then have your team meet and talk with your team. Let your coach talk with your team. When your coach is talking to your team, that's not a time for you to really say anything. It's a time for you to listen just as well as everybody else. Okay. And then you guys clean up, make sure you put your information in the system for your guest and your your new teammates and all your customer orders that evening, at the latest the next day. And that's it. That's how you do a CBD experience. But I will tell you, at least you need to have 2 presenters, and one person is talking about the products and the other person is talking about the ways that we get paid in TLC. Do I have any questions for anyone? This is great information. Yes. I had a feeling some people would need it.